Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Nitro Corner. I'm Paul the Nitro Skivers, and today is Saturday, and it's time for part one of our weekend report, the Smackdown report. So let's get right into it. First off, it started off with an opening contest as Christian scored a victory over the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Afterward, Christian gave a promo stating afterward that he felt that he should have won last week's triple threat match instead of Sheamus and wants a return match against Randy Orton. He got the people behind him on that, but Theodore Long says, no, you do not get a title shot, but however, you will be the guest referee for the Sheamus-Randy Orton title match in the main event. In the main event. Very interesting as I progress on and see how Christian did as special guest referee. Moving on now, another squash match involving the Divas in a rematch, and once again Alicia Fox and Tamina defeat AJ and Caitlyn in yet another squash match, as I mentioned last week. Great victory for those two, but unfortunately it gets them nowhere in the Divas division. Next up is the Cody Rhodes promo stating that he will beat Daniel Bryan and that Daniel Bryan is a loser. Is there a memory loss here? Short-term memory loss, Cody? Because what, ain't you the loser last week against Daniel Bryan? Go figure. I guess Cody Rhodes had probably brain surgery instead of facial surgery, if you catch my drift. Next up was the debut of Jinder Mahal and his dynasty, which includes the Great Khali. He defeated Yoshitatsu with a full Nelson reverse slam. Very impressive for Jinder Mahal. Be on the lookout for this guy in the SmackDown roster. Next up was a review of the Obama spoof. Skip it. It was a waste of time as far as I'm concerned. Next up, the first of two title matches of the night, as the Intercontinental title was on the line, and Ezekiel Jackson scored a count-out victory over Wade Barrett. It seemed like Ezekiel Jackson was well on his way to becoming Intercontinental Champion when the Cord distracted him enough so that Wade Barrett got counted out. I see another rematch down the road between these two men. Next up, Daniel Bryan continues on his win streak, so to speak, as he defeats Ted DiBiase. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes came out during the match and attacked him afterward. Then tried a 2-on-1 beatdown when Sin Cara came out there and took care of both these men, including a very impressive flying head scissor combination on Ted DiBiase. On Ted DiBiase. Reminds me a lot of Tiger Mask, as I mentioned before in the past. And then in the main event, Randy Orton defeats Sheamus to retain the World Heavyweight title. Christian called it down the middle, but after the match, Christian knocks out Randy Orton with the world title and screams, "I could still beat you, Randy Orton." This is no doubt a heel turn by Christian. No doubt about it. It'll be real interesting now to see how this comes into play in the situation involving Christian and Randy Orton. And that is SmackDown for this week. Overall, SmackDown was a good show. 2 big title matches. And Christian turning heel on Randy Orton. So overall, a good show this week for SmackDown. And that is it for part 1 of the weekend report here on the Nitro Corner. Coming up next, part 2 of the Nitro Corner's weekend report, the Nitro Top 10. Until then, I'm Paul the Nitro Skivers saying, see you next time.